my way on my quest to being great. This is also a man you're talking about that I've beaten twice now. Hey, but you know what they say, third time's the charm, right?
But now it's time.
I have zero empathy for human life.
I have no regard for anybody. You choose to do this with me, I will walk you like a dog. I get it, love me long time.
And as much as you found me, Swerve, I found you. But the one thing that I lost sight of was the AEW World Championship.
I get it,
And I will make it mine.
Now about Hangman Page.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, all right? Make sure you log it in and you remember to check out my good friends over at the Broken Table Podcast live on YouTube. These are some of my good friends. They have some of the best topics going on. They're talking about a lot of good things. And also, they like to put over the Prince Nana dance. Hey, I swerve and I drive. I swerve and I drive. Hey. Don't forget, tune in, log on to the Broken Tables Podcast live on YouTube, my friends.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Broken Tables Podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here as always with our co-host, King Rome. How you doing tonight, sir? I couldn't hear you again there. I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure why. Yeah, no, I'm doing okay.
Good. That's good to hear. I can hear you now. Man, excellent episode of AEW Dynamite here tonight. They advertised it as the biggest Dynamite of 2024. And, besides a Jericho match that I don't think anybody asked for or wanted, I think it was an absolutely incredible Dynamite.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was an excellent show.
Yeah, Nat says in the chat, solid 4 out of 5 stars for tonight. Yeah, I would absolutely agree. Even the Jericho match was pretty good considering Takeshita carried it on his back, so it was pretty good. I love that we started off the night here with the number 1 contenders match for the World Championship, Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. And dude, I don't know how I didn't even think about this being the finish for this match, but once it was all said and done, I was like, that makes a lot of sense right now. So this match was incredible. Very back and forth. Really enjoyed the entrances. They showed like a backstage look at each guy making their way through Gorilla. I loved that. That was cool. And dude, this match was incredible. Hangman Swerve 3, just an absolute banger. But we finish with Swerve about to get the 3 count, and the bell rings for the 30-minute time limit. The crowd was booing, like not in a bad way, just in like I thought it was amazing. I loved every minute of this match. I actually really enjoyed the outcome. We're going to be getting a triple threat for the AEW World Championship with Samoa Joe, Hangman, and Swerve at Revolution, right? Oh, it's going to be so freaking good.
Yeah, it was an excellent match. You guys have the hottest rivalry in wrestling. The hate feels real. It's excellent. Really well done. Excellent match. Great match paper.
And if you notice, Hangman was yelling, "You didn't beat me. You didn't beat me," the whole time. And he's kind of claiming that Swerve, never beat him without the help of the Mogul Embassy. So even if we, in this triple threat match, if we have Swerve pin Samoa Joe, they can still continue this feud with Hangman saying, "You still never beat me." You know what I mean? I love it. I love how they left that open here.
I mean, it was also great that there was a double turn with Hangman.
Yeah, it definitely felt like Hangman turned heel and Swerve was turning face, especially when the crowd just the crowd got behind Swerve tremendously in this match. I couldn't believe how much they love Swerve.
Look, all I'm saying is, don't be surprised if Revolution and the Elite are holding all the gold.
And the Elite?
Yeah, I mean, you got heel Hangman and heel Young Bucks kind of
Oh,
coinciding.
yeah.
Both of them have title matches at the pay-per-view. I
Oh,
could see it.
jeez. Well, this first match was absolutely incredible. There's "We Want Tables" chants, and we absolutely, got some tables here. Swerve puts Hangman through a table with a dead eye. That was awesome, awesome spot. Swerve just looked incredible in this match, man. He looked absolutely amazing. I really do hope we see Swerve as the next champ. And then we can have Hangman take it from him, you know what I mean?
But again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the other way around.
Yeah, I know. But we'll
I
see.
get it, though. I get it. He's really over. I totally get it, and I think either of these guys are champions. Like either of them should win against. Like either of them should win as far as I'm.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know which one. We'll see.
All right. Next up was Samoa Joe doing a great promo in ring with Renee Paquette. He was all pissed off about having to be in a 3-way. This was good. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a good, very kind of. It's what Joe's been doing. I do
Yeah.
love him pointing out that neither man deserves a title shot because neither of them won. Well, you're not wrong.
Right.
But no, it was good.
Next up was Deonna Purrazzo coming out to get on commentary, and oh my goodness, she looks incredible. My God, Deonna Purrazzo, absolute W for Tony Khan bringing her into AEW. Here we got Nat says TK has no choice but to turn Swerve face with how over he is. I kind of agree. It felt like tonight that crowd was so behind him. I actually thought they started turning in the middle of the match on because of that. You know what I mean? It was wild. Macho Savage says one of the greatest Dynamite ever. I'll put it in one of the best of 2024, but ever, that's a stretch. There have been some amazing Dynamites back in the day.
Yeah, this was close though. This was very good.
Yeah, very good. And Deonna Purrazzo was on commentary for Timeless Tony Storm versus Red Velvet in a AEW Women's Title Eliminator match. That's a mouthful right there. But if Red Velvet had won, she would face the winner of Tony Storm and Deonna Purrazzo after Revolution. So that, I hate these matches that are title eliminator matches. If you're facing the champion, it should be for the title. I don't understand why the champ would waste their time.
Well, they get booked. Gold getting booked.
I know. It's just one of those matches I've always hated, even in the WWE. But it is what it is. Red Velvet put on an awesome showing here. She has been all year. She picks up another L, though, to Tony Storm with an ankle lock. Really cool ankle lock Tony Storm put on here. And Deonna Purrazzo and Tony Storm go face-to-face in the middle of the ring after the match. And Tony Storm gives her a good sniff. If you didn't see this, I definitely recommend you go up onto Twitter and check it out. It was very interesting to say the least, but Tony Storm did say she was going to smell her, taste her, I think was another one, and then I forget the last one. So next, she's either gonna bite her or, I don't know. We're gonna see what happens there with the whole tasting thing. All right, next up we had Renee Paquette with Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends backstage. That's Trent and Rocky Romero. Orange Cassidy is going to be facing Ishii and a 6-man tag on Collision, right? Is that what they were saying here?
Yeah, well, they have a match on Rampage, and he's facing.
Okay, so he's doing Rampage and Collision, and they're like, really, dude? You're going to face Ishii and then be in a match with us? All right. Orange Cassidy just still being that workhorse, man. Love the guy. All right, next up we had the Blackpool Combat Club versus the CMLL Invaders. This was Moxley, Daniels, and Claudio versus Volador Jr., Hachicero, and Mascara Dorada. This match was awesome, dude. The crowd absolutely ate this match up, and it was unreal how good this match was. I loved all three of these CMLL guys. We had three other CMLL guys sitting ringside. It was Esfinge, Mystico, and Star Jr. So that was kind of adding a little bit of tension to the match the whole time. And dude, there was Lucha chants. There was "This is awesome" chants. I mean, you name it. This match was incredible.
Yeah, it was a really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
really good.
so good. Blackpool Combat Club do pick up the win here. And the other three guys from CMLL jump over the railing and they get into the ring. And it looks like we're going to have like a big old Team AEW versus Team CMLL here. We had the Christopher Daniels and the other guys from the other night come running out to the ring as well. Where do you think this is leading? Do you think Forbidden Door this year is going to be in Mexico? I feel like this is leading towards a pay-per-view in Mexico somehow.
I mean, whether it's actually in Mexico or not, I think you definitely got to have the conversation where you're bringing Mexico. Oh, excuse me, but up very early. You have the conversation. You got to bring CMLL involved. Forbidden Door. I don't see why you wouldn't.
Yeah, absolutely. At least make it a, New Japan, CMLL, and AEW, all three. I feel like it's really adding very well to the AEW roster, though. During the match, I was watching Twitter, and everybody was absolutely loving these CMLL guys, and they were like, put more of this on my TV. This is great. So that's a big W for Tony. Love that. And if anybody knows, do you know, where can we watch some CMLL? Because, like, I would like for it to be a reciprocal type of deal there where the CMLL gets some views. Where can we go watch them at? Coog, I know you know where we can watch CMLL at.
I would assume like Fight.
Okay.
I would assume that's.
Yeah, let us know in the chat there, Coog. I bet you're probably right though. Next up, we had the Undisputed Kingdom backstage with Chuck Taylor not hitting with me. Undisputed Kingdom is just not working with Adam Cole in a wheelchair. Unfortunately, that injury, I think, ruined a lot of things. MJF is injured as well. And, I see a lot of people saying, oh, they're completely fumbling this storyline. And I'm like, you guys don't understand. Both guys involved in the storyline are hurt. And
When you go on Audible, though.
Yeah, I do agree. And it's just, this isn't working,
No, it's not at all. You're asking the UK, I still call them the UK. You're asking the UK carried by Wardlow squash matches, and I'm sure this match is great, but what's been a relatively ice cold Orange Cassidy Roderick Strong rival, which again, I'm sure the match at Revolution is going to be dope as hell, and I like both the guys involved. I'm just not into it at all.
Wait, Coog says there's a CMLL YouTube channel Tuesdays and Friday nights live. What? How did I not know this? And after Rampage on Friday nights? Wow, what? I might have to start checking that out. That gives me some ideas. All right. Next up, we had Tony Khan's major announcement. His announcement was the March 13th episode of Dynamite will be called AEW Big Business from the TD Garden in Boston. I think everybody understands and knows now this means Mercedes is coming. They spelled Boston with 2 S's for boss. I mean, they couldn't give you any more hints here. This is absolutely another huge W for Tony. What do you think of the name? I'm not a big fan of the name, but it seemed like Twitter was. And I think the only reason I don't like the name is Nat came up with some really good ones earlier in the Discord.
Right. So here's the thing. I like the name a lot for a few reasons. Number one, like you have to tread carefully in terms. Like people are saying, like the bank statement. And like I get that that's a great name, but mine WWE probably has copyrights on that and Sasha Banks amongst other things. So like they probably there might be like catchphrases that WWE has trademarked that we don't even like. I mean, I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
people can go look that up, but it's just like so I can understand that. The name also though, the 2 other reasons that I like the name is I honestly think that this show is going to be more than I think that anything that Tony is planning to bring out, like look man, like Revolution is kind of like I don't want to say it's a reset because it's not a reset. World's End was a reset, but like
Yeah.
Sting is moving out. You're assuming that the Young Bucks are going to be the tag champs out of Revolution. I do think we get a new world champion out of like that. Like I feel like post Revolution is like okay, 2024 go. We know Osprey is starting with the company after Revolution. He may show up at Revolution, but odds are he'll probably show up afterward. So like maybe we see him wrestle his first match at Big Business, like Okada. The news with Camille, where she's no longer going to WWE. Maybe Tony Khan is like, you know what, like she was like the only one worth signing from the NWA, so like let's bring her in and continue to bolster this women's.
I can't believe the WWE fumbled Camille. She's badass, dude.
They told everybody, but no, the point is that like I think that the name Big Business signifies that AEW is going to be doing business. So, and also the perception where we talk about WWE doing big business. Now the pendulum is swung. You know, obviously a lot of what's going on with WWE is happening, both on camera and off camera. And AEW is gearing up to do like business. So again, I like the name a lot. I think there's a lot of justification for the name. And like again, like they do the big business name, and then at the bottom they put boss. So like they're still like, hey, like just so you know, it is happening.
Yeah.
There's more to this show than
Nat says Triple L, Triple Loser has fumbled the bag on everyone this year. I mean, yeah. Look at all the names that they were supposedly in talks with. The only one that they've gotten is Brian Pillman Jr. And I mean, Jade, we all knew Jade went over there immediately, so that wasn't like a big deal. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely momentum swinging in the side of AEW right now. I mean, it's not looking good for the Fed over there, and AEW is looking fantastic right now. Revolution's shaping up to be an all-timer.
yeah, for sure.
All right, next up was Jericho versus Takeshita. And, listen, I'm not a big Jericho fan right now, but Takeshita absolutely carried this match, and it was phenomenal. I thought it was a great match. Takeshita looked great. And there was a point in the match where I started to actually like start hating on Jericho. I was like, damn it, Jericho. I was like, just finish this match already. But then the crowd started chanting for Jericho. So it kind of like got me a little bit into the match again. Huge blue thunder bomb from the top rope. I feel like that should have been the finish. It looked like Jericho's face bounced off the mat and bounced 3 feet up into the air. I felt like that should have been the finish, but Jericho did kick out. But Konosuke, he puts Jericho in the walls of Jericho, and Don Callis with the screwdriver, or I'm sorry, Jericho puts Takeshita in the walls, and Don Callis with the screwdriver nails Jericho in the forehead. Takeshita puts Jericho in the walls of Jericho and actually gets him to tap out. I don't think anybody has ever used the walls before to make Jericho tap out.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, still, I didn't think it was. Thought it was fine. I we've seen enough Jericho. I think Jericho went a little too Superman during this match too. The amount
Yeah.
of time where I was like, oh, Jericho should be done here. Then he wasn't. I didn't like Jericho using Takeshita's mask. I mean, I think that mask is really cool, and I want to see Takeshita kind of like have it be like a symbol for him. So for Jericho to just kind of grab it and wear it while he was doing aerial attack, I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
um I don't know, it just in general like a lot of things here didn't click with me. I think that this storyline's still going on, and this match definitely, if this match was the payoff for the storyline, that sucks. But also, like, I don't want there to be. So it's just like either way, this kind of stinks. So I would like for them to move on, something different. Like
I would
I
just
guess
really
they're
like,
gearing up for a revolution. I don't know.
yeah.
Sammy's back being a geek again.
Yeah,
Yep.
Sammy is back. Yeah. I would
Yep.
just really like to see Takeshita away from Callis. Like, I want to be able to cheer for Takeshita, you know what I mean? Um, I guess I still can, but it's, when he's with Callis, it's just like, boo.
I mean, also, side note, I really think it's time to like get some. The blah thing is, it's not like for a few weeks it made sense because
Yeah.
like there was a few weeks there where Don was getting like, nuclear mega heat, and like he still gets heat, but it's not the heat that it was. It's like it doesn't fit Takeshi. They could do something way more
No,
ominous
yeah.
sound, and
That
it work a
sound,
lot.
the sound fits Don more than Takeshita. They just never gave Takeshita new music. Like, I'm like, come on, give him something.
I think you
But
could do something like really cool and really, but like still really ominous. It doesn't even need to necessarily be music. It could be some sort of like sound, but it
yeah,
doesn't need to be the blah thing. Blah thing sucks. It's not good.
there was some good spots in the match where Sammy obliterated Hobbs with a chair, but he no-sold it. That was pretty good. Um, I mean, like I said, it was a good match. Just we're just not into Jericho anymore. The story should have been finished long ago. But still a good match. Next up, I don't know if this was a commercial or part of the show, but it was a bunch of guys and gals from AEW playing with puppies. I don't know if you wanted to cover that part. They just went to some animal hospitals and played with some puppies. I'm sure it was for
Good
donations. That's cool.
stuff.
But then it was time for the main event, the Tornado Tag Team match for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Darby Allin and Sting versus Ricky Starks and Big Bill. And man, I loved every minute of this. I've been a fan of Sting since I can remember watching wrestling. For me, like the two guys when I was a little kid, it was Sting and the Ultimate Warrior were like my two favorites. And seeing Sting still wrestling today and actually putting in some really good work in a tag team championship match. I mean, this was awesome. I loved every minute of this.
Yeah, dude, it was a really awesome match. Thing still got it. My only thing with it, and I'm gonna continue to have this. Should have just given Sting and Darby the titles like a month ago.
Yeah,
I
that,
don't.
that that's
I don't know
that's
what we waited.
fine. That's
I don't know what
fair,
we waited.
but we're here.
Yeah, but you could have done something with it. Like, what are you like the pay per views in 3 weeks?
Yeah, yeah.
Again, it's fine.
I
It's
think
not terrible,
they
but
probably needed to establish those characters for the Bucks, which I think they did succeed in.
yeah,
Um,
but I think you still could have.
yeah, I got you. I mean,
So
it's fair. But we had some awesome match here. Sting picking up the win with the Scorpion Death Drop for the 1-2-3. Sting and Darby are your new AEW Tag Team Champions. Celebrates in the ring with Darby. His sons were on the ring apron as well. Confetti goes off everywhere. And the Young Bucks attack afterwards with baseball bats, wearing all white with all white baseball bats. And Darby gets split open somewhere along the lines here, and he bleeds all over their white outfits. Um, the Bucks hit the EVP trigger, no longer known as the BTE trigger. It is now the EVP trigger. And they beat Sting and Darby down to end the show here. Nobody coming to their aid. What do you think of the ending here?
I thought it was great. Thought it was excellent. Yeah, it sets up for the match at Revolution really well. It sucks that we know it's the last match, but like I think in hindsight, it made sense for them to lay it out. To be honest with people, but at the same time, it's kind of like, man, if you hadn't told people this was going to be Sting's last match, like people would have been shocked. You know what I mean? Because like, and here's the flip side of it. So they just won the tag title. You could definitely swerve people where you have them their first title defense be against the Bucks at Revolution.
I think that's
And
where we're going, isn't it?
well, it is, but what I'm saying is that you could have had the emotional shock of, oh wow, wait, no, this is Sting's match. Like maybe you add a stipulation on there, but it's like, oh well, they just won the titles. They're not going to win the titles. I just think that maybe you could have done it differently. I understand why it was done the way it was. Like you want to you want people to know that this is Sting's last match. So, like I also at the same time totally, but I don't know. And I just think that the way they're doing it, they could have done other things a little bit. It's not bad. Still excellent.
Yeah. I love this. I loved everything about this match. There was a spot where Sting climbed up to the top of the tunnel, like the football tunnels where the guys come out. And so we had Ricky and Bill down in the tunnel. Darby kind of pushed both of them into position, and Sting dives off the top of the tunnel onto both guys. I mean, it was an awesome spot for somebody his age. I loved everything about this. The blood all over the white outfits makes me think it was worked. The white outfits, I think they were aiming for that. But holy crap, if it wasn't, that worked out incredible in their favor. The amount of Darby's blood that got all over Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, I'm sorry, I don't want to get that fine, was all over their outfits was incredible. It looked amazing. It looked like a Halloween outfit that I would create. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Darby's spot with Big Bill was pretty awesome, where he put both knees onto Big Bill's chest and put him through the table on the outside. That was awesome. Thank you for the shout out to the podcast. But this was great. I think I agree with Nat. 4 out of 5 minimum, like maybe 4.5 out of 5. This was an awesome Dynamite.
Mercedes tweeted about a minute ago. She said, I remember when couldn't pay the rent. Now I own the whole building that I'm living. Sky's the limit when you're never giving in. You get in, you ride it out, and don't look back.
Nice. Can't wait. March 13th. We got just over a month. You think we're going to get like some teases in between, like some music playing and everyone like, what's that? Or hear some coins dropping?
I mean, probably. Maybe. But I mean, we'll see. It's going to be a big night for the company. And I think I think you're seeing a paradigm shift in where 2023 was really rough for AEW. It was. You don't have to agree with it, but it's factual. Like there was a lot of black clouds over the company's head while WWE was doing great business. But now you're seeing that shift where it's like right now I think that the Cody stuff is definitely manufactured. It's intended for it to be what it is right now.
Yeah.
And
The signs in the audience, they're handing them out.
But regardless, that's not good business. And again, not to play off the big business, that's not good business.
Yeah, I've even seen people saying on Twitter, they're like, even if this is a work and they still plan on having Cody versus Roman, they're like, this is still lame, They're like,
it just makes no sense. Cody, shit or get off the pot, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, it is wild to see the pendulum swinging into AEW's favor here. When CM Punk showed up in WWE, things were looking bleak, man. That pendulum was way over there in the WWE's favor. And I don't know what happened, but it swung fast back over towards AEW for me.
I mean, Yeah, it was a real sudden swing back, but again, AEW had to endure some rough months there, where there was like bad creative going on in the company. WWE's doing good business, great business. It was rough. It was really rough, but AEW Tony Khan's come out in 2024 and sign Deonna Purrazzo. You're making other signings,
Yeah.
and again, like I think that it's going to get a lot crazier. Okada's coming in, Osprey's coming in, maybe more. Obviously Mercedes, but like maybe more than those three. Like it's possible.
Yeah, Tony took
Um,
off the gloves this year, man.
I mean, who knows where the year's going? Like honestly, dude, like I'm pretty sure Drew McIntyre hasn't re-signed. Who knows what happens with him? Um, honestly, like it's funny to say, and we'll have our laughs about it, but like maybe Cody hasn't re-signed yet, and Cody really feels a certain type of way. Like I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if we're ending 2024. We're sitting here, 10 months from now. Huh. Well, that was a match that we watched on Dynamite between like Cody Rhodes and Will Ospreay or
That'd be
something like that.
nuts, dude. Oh my god.
Oh, he would get shit for it, and he like Cody should absolutely like. The question is, would I welcome Cody back? Like, nah, probably not. I don't know. Like we've always speculated like if there was some sort of plan here to like
Listen,
let Cody go over there. If Cody comes back, like I'm gonna give him a lot of shit for a long time. Will time heal wounds? Like maybe, probably not fully. Like I'm not gonna sit here
listen.
and
If
care,
Cody
but
if Cody doesn't win that WWE championship at WrestleMania this year, and he comes back, I would be like, welcome back, because he has gone through the ringer from them. They have put him through some shit, especially with that rubber chicken hitting his head at WrestleMania last year. I mean, oh, that was one of the lowest of the low moments I've ever seen for somebody. And for everybody to think he was going to get it and not get it again this year, I'd be like, I think you learned your lesson, Cody. That's enough. That's enough punishment, you know?
we'll see. I mean, again, time does heal wounds. I mean, he's gonna get clowned on, and I do hope that the fan base would boo him. Sure. Um, but
Guy from Ted. I don't know what Ted is. What up,
that's
David? What up, Matthew? AEW
uh,
should sign Scott D'Amore to the creative team. I mentioned him for Ring of Honor. I don't know if Scott D'Amore did anything bad or anything like that to get fired, but it seems like they just kind of flipped the script and were like, "Yeah, we're done with this guy. Thanks for making everything better."
well,
What do you think? Like, what do you think's up with that?
well, you could say you want to see Scott them. I would like to see Scott them. I just look, man. Him and Rossi. What's going on in wrestling? You are seeing. We've talked about this, right? Where like in like over the past like 2 years, we've talked about this a lot. Maybe not so much, but like there's a cold war in wrestling. We find out that Rossi gets let go from Stardom, the promotion he started. He's poaching talent from there. That's why they fire him. Um, you know, Julia obviously now the Julia story makes a lot more sense why she wasn't even talking to AEW because Rossi was a double agent. He was getting ready to send her to WWE after so Rossi was poaching talent. It sounded like he was going to start his own promotion, and like that promotion was going to work with WWE. So like Julia was going to start in Rossi's new promotion with poached Stardom talent, and then when that promotion gets off and running, she's going to go to WWE. And probably still will happen. I mean, obviously Rossi started his own do that. And with Scott D'Amore, I mean, the two things that it seems like to me, one thing I read and the other thing I speculate, seems like Scott was making himself way too featured on television. From what I was,
Yeah,
the dude was in like every other segment. Look, man, like authority figures are authority figures. You can't make your brand about you. You need to make your brand about the stars. You like Vince McMahon being a character on 90 WWE doesn't mean anything. There's no Stone Cold to build up. You can't just be this dude walking around it's like the reverse Tony Khan. Like Tony Khan like almost never appears on camera, and that's really the right way. Um, but then also from another perspective, you got to look at it where it's like, you're trying to get this TNA brand up and going, and like you're basically like wrapping up your top talents on TNA. Like, there was a lot of stuff coming out too where like TNA and WWE were like hoping to start like a working relationship, and it's like, how does that benefit for WWE to keep scooping up all the people that you sign? Because TNA is not, they're the number 3 brand in the country, maybe like number 5 promotion in the world. So it's like you're not in a luxury like AEW and WWE. Like you need to kind of make sure you're growing. You're not going to do that if
Yeah, I
try
was
to.
surprised that TNA was doing all that work with WWE because all they do is take their top talent once they work with them like that, you know? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Jordine Grace is over there in the next year, you know what I mean?
And Coog makes a good point. Like it's very similar to what's going on with Conan in AAA. Like you see the dots, and people don't want to admit it. These people, Rossi, Conan, and more, like these are people that wanted to work with WWE, that want to have good, positive working relationships with those companies, and because of that, they cut their ties with AEW. Like we talk all the time, like, man, it's really weird that TNA was doing business with AEW and then stopped. Get the Don Callis, get it, but
Yeah.
like cold turkey, like that's good business for TNA to work with AEW. They're not, like, it's not the same situation as working with WWE. WWE wants to gobble up the industry and have them. AEW doesn't want to do that, or at the very least isn't in a position. So it's like definitely be trying to get your TNA talent shirt on AEW. I mean, look what it's doing for CMLL.
Yeah.
CMLL's talent really well featured right now. Well. It's kind of funny because, they were working with AAA for how long? And AAA never got the rub like this, but it's because Conan's holding back the brand. Like that's
Hmm.
on him. That's just him doing bad business for the sake of working with the other company.
So I actually believe that Forbidden Door is going to be in Mexico. And Coog, I think you could probably be our best to answer this question. What stadium do you think that they would do Forbidden Door in if it went to Mexico? Um, I think that would be a great place for the next Forbidden Door. You think they should go Mexico route, or you think we should go like Japan route?
Well, see, the problem is, I have this. I don't think it's a very popular. I do have a lot of questions about AEW ship. We know that like these talents are still working dates, but honestly, I think the money right now, what makes the most sense is the AEW Go relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I would do Forbidden Door. I wouldn't be surprised. They can't do it because can't cut New Japan out of this. But like, I think Forbidden Door much more should be focused on AEW and CMLL. I think that's where the money is right now. You're starting this turf war invasion where like these CMLL guys are showing up at ringside. They had a golden aardvark out there tonight. Wild.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
So
I would focus on those guys. I don't know, with all the guys leaving New Japan, with like Okada being gone and Osprey being gone, and Tanahashi's getting up there. Like they don't have a lot of matches. And like there are some, but that's why I would say like a 3-way would be much more prevalent.
yeah. Coog says Arena Mexico, Azteca is being renovated for World Cup 2026. Ah, thank you, Coog. So Arena Mexico, is that in Mexico City, I believe? I'm not exactly sure. I think so. That'd be nice, man. I believe that holds quite a few people. I don't know the number, but yeah, I think that holds a lot. Um, that'd be a hard Forbidden Door for me to get to. We're trying to make it a thing to go to all of them, but we'll have the kid and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know if Forbidden Door is going to happen if it's in another country this year. We'll see. All right, man. Is there anything else you wanted to go over tonight?
No, pretty much covered it. It was a great show.
Yeah, absolutely. A very good show. I had a blast tonight, and I can't wait for March. Just over 30, what is it going to be? 36 days, it looks like, before Mercedes Vernado and possibly Okada appear. Should be great. Big business, AEW big business. Should be an awesome show. But go ahead and close us out, sir.
Absolutely. Well, this has been episode 198 of the Broken Tables podcast. Thank you to everyone hanging out with us here tonight. Thank you,
Let's fucking
Nat,
go.
Coog. We had a few other people here tonight. Great. Macho Man was here earlier. David Durham here. Matt Holland. Thank you to everyone showing up and helping us out by supporting the channel. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe. Join our Discord where we talk about pro wrestling. You know, it was a great show, and we're on a roll right now with great television. So we will be back for Saturday Collision review. Next time, we'll see you guys later.
Absolutely. And as always, thank you guys very, very much for hanging out with us here tonight. On your way out the door, please remember to drop an elbow on that like button. And until next time, top guys, out.